What's going on, y'all? We're going to get started in a second. About to send this link out. Then we're going to go ahead and get started. Go ahead and grab this link. When y'all hop in, especially y'all watching this later, go ahead and hit that like button. All right, just send that link out. So let's go and get into it. So US30, we went over this. I went over this with the members last night, and it's looking like it's doing exactly what I was expecting it to do. Looks like it's about to go ahead towards this gap right now. Of course, we're going to wait for this next 15 that's about to pop up in 1 minute, but as you can see, it was underneath the daily level, broke above it, did a retest here, broke this level here. So it definitely looks like it's heading towards the gap to get filled up at least, which is a good sign here. It's currently underneath this wall, so we're going to see what the next 15 looks like, but I do like how that's looking there. And all the pairs have gaps, well, besides SPX, but SPX is following suit. You see a very similar movement to US30 on the 15. As we know, looking at the bigger time frame, it is completely bullish. Was a few choppy weeks the past couple weeks in this month in general, but at least overall it's still bullish, still making new highs, still making new lows. So we're going to see how this 15 looks. Of course, we're going to wait, if possible, till London session, but I do like how that's looking right there. Definitely going to keep that in mind. Looks like all the indices are doing the same thing. Again, GR30 looks very similar. It's got this wall here. It's currently underneath. They're about to attempt to break through it. So we see signs of it trying to push up again. We're going to jump in on that and try to ride that wave up, because it looks like even right now it's trying to do it. But there were some other pairs I was looking at, so let's not get sidetracked. There were a few other pairs I was looking at. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I was looking at GBP New Zealand. Let me see here. GBP New Zealand in the past couple of weeks has been just very choppy, bouncing, currently above this zone and trying to break through it. So if we can break through it and stay above it, we could look for a potential buy setup. It's doing a decent job right now, but it's retesting. So of course we're going to wait till the next 15 going into London and see what that looks like. I want to pay attention to this. This looks like it's definitely trying to break through it. Yeah, I definitely like how it looks. I'm going to get these written up. I do see these going to fill these gaps right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get these written up. It is Monday, so a lot of moves are kind of in the middle of what they were doing last week on Friday, or, you know, when the market opened in the middle of the day, started doing this thing. So there's a few moves that are kind of at good setups, but other ones are kind of in the middle of things. So we're just going to be waiting to see what happens during New York. But I'm going to go ahead and get some of these written up. So if I'm quiet, that's what I'm doing. So for this one, let me see. So I'm looking at around like 34. We're going to put like 34, 120 just underneath that body of price right there. It's doing a retest, which is fine. Not too concerned about that. We're gonna see what the next 5 minute looks like though. Gonna leave that alone. And this one, just gonna put it underneath this body of price right here. We're just gonna put it right there. Let's say 14,435. And like how those are looking. So I'm gonna see if it's gonna fill that gap up the next. If it is, gonna jump in on that. If not, we're just gonna let it do its thing because there's the dailies on underneath it. SPX has the dailies on underneath it as well, just like US30. GBPJPY is right underneath the 4-hour level. Literally just touched this right underneath the ESTX. It's right underneath this wall right here. So I'll put a line right here. We can clearly see this wall of price right here. Whoops, there we go. And that's where price is currently underneath right there. So we're just going to turn that. Whoops. There we go. I'm just going to put that there for now. But I do like how these are looking. And these are just traded days. I haven't entered anything yet. Going to be waiting to see what it looks like going into London session. Yeah, so for this would probably be about like 9, 30. Okay, about. So it looks like price is rejecting offer, which is good. New 5-minute digit start. So it looks like it is about to attempt to break this wall. It looks like it was attempting to try to break that wall. Let it be for now. So while that's doing this thing, let's look at these other pairs. I was looking for a gold buy, but again, I think it went a little bit, started this move before I trade. Started a couple hours ago, as you can see. Was looking to enter around 1747, 1748. Currently up 300 pips. So we're going to wait and see if it can come retrace again, at least down to like 1748, 1749. And then from there, maybe we'll look for a buy setup. But for now, we're just going to leave that alone. JPY pairs, we caught some nice buys on them on Friday on last week's live stream. Let's see here. But after that, it did a nice dump. They're all currently dropped down. They all dropped down hundreds of pips. We're currently underneath the 4 hours. The daily support resistance level. A little too far personally for an entry. So I'm going to leave it alone and see if it can retest, or I'm just going to wait for it to come back to the nearest zone. Same to Euro New Zealand. Going to leave that alone. Going to wait to see how it reacts to its 4-hour level. But for now, just going to leave it alone. Already kind of did its thing. No point in jumping anything right now. Same thing with Euro AED. Kind of started to move already. Going to wait for it either to see how it reacts to its 4-hour level or retest. But this is what I mean by a lot of moves already kind of started doing their thing. But that's usually how it is on Mondays anyways. Euro CHF. Called this trade on Friday, hit a few TPs, then did a retest. Then earlier today, did a nice drop down to the downside. Let's see, GPUSD is looking like that. GJ is actually at a kind of good entry. It's doing a retest, which is what I would like to see it do. It's at a good entry here. Again, like I said, the JPY pairs have been dropping. As you can see, huge drop the last 8 hours. This one hit this lower price right here, which is why I have it marked off and it's retracing, which is good for us because as long as it can respect this daily level, we can look for a potential sell setup still, because as you can see, still a nice huge dump there. Then we'll go on the daily time frame. Take a look, we can see we're underneath the strong support resistance level on the daily time frame as well. We can see that off this level price right here. We can see our price was treated as a resistance level here, resistance level, resistance. Then when it broke above it, it was getting treated as a support level. So now currently underneath it. So we can stay underneath it. It's got a few walls to break, like the one it just rejected off of. But if price continues to want to be bearish for the day, like has been so far, we can definitely catch some pips. This is why I usually like to wait until London session. Sometimes, like we saw last Friday, sometimes the move will start a little bit beforehand, but other times, right before London, we might see some reversals or some pumps in the market. Just like here, we're looking for a buy setup, and we can see prices kind of dropping down a little bit right before, literally 5 minutes before London. And then we see for the sell setup, we see GJ pumping up. Again, it's coming to our ideal entry level, so it's not really an issue for us. As long as it can respect that level. So we're just going to let it do its thing for now, but definitely looking for a GJ setup sell wise until it shows us differently. If it breaks it back above like 167.20, 167.15, then I might consider looking for a buy setup. But for now, it is showing me sells. So let's see if EJ's pushing up as well. Yeah, EJ's pushing up as well. Yeah, so for now, I'm going to be just looking at GJ. Going to be looking at the indices, waiting for that to see when it's going to try to fill up that gap. I was looking at GN as well. GN is retesting this level. We're going to see if we can look for a potential buy setup. Nice rejection wick on the hour. New hour, the candle's going to start. Filled up that imbalance right there. Rejection wick right off the daily. That counts as kind of a wick, but this one was a huge wick pushing up. So we see signs price is trying to push up above that level. So we're going to see if it can do so. It's definitely going to struggle a little bit, but it's not impossible. So we're going to see if it can do so. Definitely not impossible. Especially if we can stay above the level that is currently respecting. So we're going to wait for the next 15 to see what it looks like. Give me 1 to 2, almost 1 to 3 risk to reward. I'm going to give it a decent stop loss, just so it has some wiggle room to do its thing. Then we're going to go from there. GBPJPY, we're going to leave that alone. GBPCAD, we're going to leave that alone. So GBPCAD's pushing up. Let me see what these are up to. They're still doing this thing. So GBPCHF, we could look for a possible buy setup here. I was looking at one on Friday. Created this huge wall here, was definitely struggling to even do much, but as we see right here, the retest of the daily is respecting this level right above the daily level. You see the rejection wick pushing up. So if we continue to do so, we could potentially catch from where it's currently at like 50, 60 pips minimum if it can break this wall right here, which isn't bad. So we're going to see if it can respect that level or not. Stop loss, not going to be too crazy. Just going to be underneath this wall right here. Yeah, that's what we're going to go for. We're just going to put underneath that wall right there. Could put it a little lower. So I could put it like right there. But I don't want to really put it that low. I'm going to put it right there. Yeah, just right underneath that wall right there. Because we got this level traffic here. And then we got this huge level traffic here. But I still want to be a decent risk to reward. So we're just going to leave it like that. So for where it's currently at, that would be about, let me do the math real quick. 1410 minus about 70 pip stop loss, which isn't too crazy. I kind of want to put it right here though, I'm not going to lie. So it's going to be a 75 pip stop loss, which still isn't too bad. Yeah, I kind of like that stop loss better. If it breaks that level, then we're definitely all wrong. But this also gives price plenty of space to push back up if needed. So yeah, that's not too bad of a stop loss. So we got about 2 minutes until London starts. Price is retracing currently. which is fine for us. Gold's pushing back down as well, which is fine for us. We'll look at oil. So looking at for oil scalp setup is mainly bearish, but I could see it retracing and pushing back up to the daily for a retest because it has been just dropping nicely and it currently is trying to do so. And so yeah, might look at this for potential setup here. Whoops. It's already pushing up. Did a retest off this level, created a nice little wall here. So if we can break this wall, we might go for something. I mean, really, when it broke this wall, we could have went for something. Yeah, so we're going to see. So this is a little bit more of a higher risk trade because, again, it is very bearish, but it hasn't been this low. I went over this with the members last night, but for those watching the stream, it hasn't been this low since exactly a year ago. Well, not exactly a year ago, almost a year ago. Last time it was this low was like in December 2021, as we can see right here, or January 2020, so about almost a year ago. Has been a nice drop. It is rejecting off that level, as we can see here. And just looking at it, it's due for a slight retracement. So wouldn't be surprised if it would come up to that daily zone there. And then we do have a couple imbalances on the 4-hour time frame. One right here after it broke the daily level, and then one right above the daily level right there. And we see these wicks to past 4-hour levels back our zone. And we see price currently on this third wick pushing up and above this level. So it is very likely it could try to fill up this gap some more before it continues to push down. Would not be surprising, but gold is dropping down some more, which is good for us. This stuff is as well, which is fine because we still have the daily zone and this wall right here. So we're just going to let it do its thing. London session did just pop off. It is turning green. Was trying to turn green. So we're just going to let it do its thing for now. And we're going to look at the currency pairs while they do that. Let me see. Yeah, so oil just turned red again. Yeah, so we're going to let that do its thing for now. These are just trade ideas. Haven't jumped in any trades yet. All right, so let's go back to GJ. See what GJ is up to. So GJ went right back to the daily and is turning red. So we can break this level and stay underneath this level. I'm going to go for a sell. So let me go ahead and get this written up just because I do jump in on this. I do like how it's looking right here. So I do enter this. The SL is going to be looking like, let's say 167. 35, 167.35. Yeah, and we can see just looking to the left how every time price hit this daily level, harsh rejection down, harsh rejection down, harsh rejection, huge resistance level here, even when it broke above, strong support. And then we currently see it again being treated as a resistance. So we're going to wait for it to try to break this wall. If we can break it, stay underneath that wall, we're going to look for a sell setup. US30 looking like it's trying to push back up. We're going to wait a little bit. I want to see it break above this wall again and stay above it before we enter. And if we can do so, then we'll probably jump in on that. Because it's definitely going to have to fill that gap up. And I'd like to see it do that today, if possible. So we're definitely going to be on the lookout for that. Yeah, so we're just going to let that do its thing. Yeah, so when we're paying attention to indices, when we're paying attention to gold, GJ, going to be looking at oil as well. We'll see if there's any. I was looking at some other pairs, but those are the main pairs that would pique my interest. Okay, scratch that. I forgot about GC. So GC is looking like it's about to attempt to break this wall here. Let me get this written up as well, because I do like that. I did a retest the last 15, and now it's pushing up. So I do like how that's looking right there. And price is currently trying to push up. So let me see stop loss wise. Yeah, so it's got a wall of price right here that is trying to break. Like right there. And as we see, last time price reattempted when it rejected, it's the same level here. But it's definitely is a good sign. It is respecting this level for sure. So that's showing it definitely is trying to break that level. Then we have this rejection wick prior to, and we have this wick right here showing that it is definitely trying to break that level. Out of curiosity, I want to see what the other CA. Okay, so Euro CHF just had a huge spike up. I wonder if that's just the Euro pairs in general. Let's see. Okay, Euro JPY is doing the same thing. Let's see Euro USD. No, Euro USD is not. Euro New Zealand is doing the same thing. All right, so that's the Euro pairs having a pump. Yeah, so the Euro pairs are pumping up right now. That's fine. None of them are actually at good entries anyway. So GJ did just break underneath this level. Which is definitely a good sign. Let me see here. A new 5-minute did just start. So it's going to be about like a 60, 65 pip stop loss from where it's currently at. If possible, I do want to wait for the next 15. Definitely the next 15, if not the next 5. We see it broke this level. We want to see it close underneath here. We see it rejecting off that level. It just broke under, which is normal. But I want to see if it can stay underneath there. If it can stay underneath there, I feel more inclined to enter GN reattempt to try to break and stay above that level. So we're going to see if it can do so. What was the other one I was looking at? GBPJPY. Yeah, I like what GBPJPY is doing. But it hasn't made a huge breakout yet, so I am going to wait for the next 15. If it can close and stay above here, then yeah, I'm going to jump in on it. Definitely like how it's looking. I mean, it already retested this level right here and is attempting push up. So realistically, it's at a good entry right now. Gold's pumping back up. Okay. So the indices are pushing back up. Yeah, so we might jump in something on the next 15 or the next 5 minute. Let's see how these candlesticks close. Let's see what GJ is up to. GJ is respecting that level so far. GN's doing that. Okay. So GP pairs kind of dropping a little bit. All right, so we've got a few pairs on my radar. Let's see what else we can look at. AD New Zealand's really been struggling to break this level of traffic right here. It's overall extremely bearish, but with AD New Zealand, it be having its days where it just be not going anywhere. So we're going to see if it can break underneath this 4-hour level. And if it can do so, we'll look for a sell setup on that. because overall it is extremely bearish. AD CAD, we called this on like, I think like Thursday or Wednesday. Gonna leave that alone for now. Let's see here. Zealand JPY, gonna leave that alone for now. It's not really at a good entry. Gonna leave that alone. This is still doing something from last week. Gonna leave that alone for now. CGFJPY is the buy we caught on Friday. Then after that, did a huge drop down. Let's go back to GJ. Yeah, GJ is staying underneath that level, which is good. So we got a new 5-minute about to start in about 30 seconds. And he's pushing back up above this level, which is a good sign. Yeah, so we might be jumping in something soon. Well, I'd like to have seen gold come a little bit lower. So I'm still going to leave that alone for now. Because this would have been an ideal place for entry. So we're just going to leave that alone for now. All right, new 10-minute just started. Price is pushing up. Definitely like that. That price is pushing up. All right, so we're going to stay above these levels. We're going to enter on the next candlestick. GJ staying underneath this level. Yeah, so we might be jumping into some stuff in a second. GN is pushing back down. Let's take a closer look at AUD New Zealand. Yeah, so it's currently just chilling on this level, just like I did here. So if we can break underneath here, we can definitely look for a sell setup. So that's what we're going to be looking for. If we can break underneath here, we're going to be looking for a sell setup. Just going to put it right above this level of price here. Going to be a nice 1 to 2, almost 1 to 3 risk to reward. Well, it's going to be 1 to 3 risk to reward. We're going to wait and see if price can do that. But this is a good sign here. Yeah, so I got these written up. Just going to wait for the next candlestick before we jump in on these. But definitely like how these are looking right here. Let me go ahead and post this disclaimer. So y'all watching this and you're not in the free Telegram, make sure to click that first link to join that free Telegram. But again, keep in mind, it might not go zone to zone, especially since it's Monday, but I do see it for sure, at least minimum, breaking this wall and coming to around this, breaking this wall right here and coming to at least this lower price, if not filling up this gap completely. Now, will it go zone to zone, like in the daily zone or whatnot? That's another question. We have to wait till closer to New York to see that. But just strictly looking short term, I can see it at least filling up the gap. I can see that at least happening there. All right, so tracing a little bit. Yeah, so I want to see what the next 15 looks like. So while we're doing that, let me explain by that, because right here, this is the daily time frame. So I can kind of split this up and put like a middle of the zone and a 4-hour level. I'll probably do that later. But as we see here, price hasn't been this high since August. Last time price was up here, it did a huge rejection down. Obviously, it looks a little bit different from last time it came up here. Last time price immediately rejected and we began a downtrend. That's not really the case here. Now we see price broke above it and it's kind of looking like a retest. So the uptrend could potentially continue. We do have a few red folder news and high impact news going down this week. None today though, if I'm not mistaken, but we could potentially see price continue to push up because price did break above here the past couple of days and stayed and closed above. Then we see price broke underneath as a retest, nice rejection with pushing price up, and we see price continuing to push up as we speak, attempting to break this wall. So it does look like price is going to be potentially heading towards these gaps to at least fill those gaps up. Now, SPX doesn't have a gap, but as you can see, it's moving very similar to US30 and NAS, and then of course GBPJPY and USTX. Those the duo, US30 NAS, SPX are the trio, but they still like to move overall in general, still the same. Now, GBP30's gap's a little bit closer compared to US30's. It's about 5,000 pip, 4,000 pip gap. US30's gap is about, let's see here, where's it currently at? If I'm doing the math right. Let me make sure I'm doing the math right. So we got 3980. Whoops, put it right here. 370. No, it's currently at 238. So we got about 13,000 gap, 13,000 pip gap on US30. ESTX, that thing just spiked completely up right before the new 15, which is interesting. Let's see US30. Yeah, so that's what I mean. So we see these didn't really do a huge spike like that, but Jersey and ESTX exploded up that last 15. But yeah, I like how these look, so I might jump in on these, not gonna lie. That thing just shot up at the last minute. 8,000 pips. But Jersey's had a good entry. ESTX kind of just did its own thing. So we're gonna leave ESTX alone. Just doing a retest. But I do like how that's looking. Let's go to GJ. GJ starting off red. Yeah, I like how this is looking. Yeah, I might enter this if I can find it. Here it is. Yeah, so start underneath. Yeah, we can catch some pips. I like how this is looking. So I'm gonna get this written up. I like how US30 is looking too. Now it's not New York session, but the way it just set itself up, I do see it pushing up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna enter these right here. I like how these are looking. Let me see. The rejection. Yeah, I kind of like how GJ is looking too. But NDC wise, I like how these are looking right here. Yeah, so we're gonna enter these. I'm about to post this stuff up. Let me post this disclaimer first. I'm gonna post this disclaimer. And so price is on the move. So yeah, I'm going to post some of these in the free Telegram. Others are going to be strictly members only. But I do see these pushing up right now. So I'm in US30. I can see SPX pushing up as well. GBPJPY as well. So I'm about to post these signals out. And we're going to go from there. Yeah, so they're on the move right now. So I posted US30 in the free Telegram. I'm about to put the TPs and stuff in there. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I entered GBPJPY, I entered US30. SPX, you can enter 2 if you want. I can see SPX coming to at least, what is that? 4,015, 4,020, depending on how it breaks that level. I'm about to post the TPs and stuff for US30 and GBPJPY right now. I'm gonna let these do its thing. So I'm gonna type the TPs up. I'm gonna see if it can do its thing. Let's see here. So we got a few TPs we can see ahead. Right, so I'm gonna see if we can break these levels right here. It's underneath the walls, struggling to break, but doesn't mean it's impossible. So I'm gonna see if it can do so. Then we're gonna go from there, 80, 84 to over 300. We got 34, 320. All right, so I'm quiet. So I'm typing these TPs up real quick. So we're just gonna let these do its thing. See if it can hunt and fill that gap up. I'm about to type the TPs for this real quick. So let me see, we got this wall right here. We got another wall right here. Already. Yeah, so I'm gonna see how it reacts to these levels here. Yeah, so we can post that there. So yeah, we're gonna let those do its thing. Good thing we hold it off on the GJ. It's pushing up. Because again, like you don't want to just jump in stuff just because it hit a certain price point or a certain level you were waiting for it. You want to see if it can stay underneath there. You want to wait for those confirmations. So right now, it's not showing that. So I'm still keeping an eye on the GJ pairs, but for the most part, they usually don't start to do their thing, especially in the beginning of the week until closer to New York. Now Thursdays and Fridays can be a little bit different, but usually like the first few days, they really don't try to make their move until closer to New York. So y'all entered, let me see. So I've written the TPs up. Let me see, the first TP for US30 is going to be 34,260. We're about 500 pips away from that. So we're going to see if it can hit it. We're about 300 pips now from it. So y'all should be blue if y'all entered. Y'all should be blue on Jury 30. Y'all should be blue on SPX. And US30, they're all pushing up right now. SPX, like I said, you can enter this too for the smaller accounts. I just didn't post this trade, but you can enter this as well for the smaller accounts. Let's see here, ESDX, just decided to leave that alone. Could enter this as well because again, they all doing the same thing. But I just went for the ones with the better and cleaner setup, in my opinion. So TP1 just got hit. Make sure to hit that like button, y'all. 20 minutes and we're making some money. All right, and make sure I read the disclaimer because like the disclaimer says, not every TP is guaranteed to get hit, especially on a Monday. And when a TP gets hit, he's either going to reject or break through it. So keep an eye on your charts. But this is how we did last week. Pretty slow start last week, but we ended it off strong. Card total 18,458 pips, 14,619 strictly for the members. But I posted the TPs in here. GBPJPY 30 TPs I posted strictly for the members, so they'll be notified when those get hit. But of course, we went over the stop losses and the price points right there, earlier, but I'll go over it again. So the stop loss for this, I got around 14,000. What did I put? Cause I know I rounded a little bit. I put 14,435 as the stop loss. Now for the take profits, of course, I want to see it hit this gap, but of course, there's some levels beforehand. So you either look at the walls of price, or we can try to aim for at least 14,530, 14,550. And at the highest, the daily zone, I got that around 14,600, 14,630-ish price range. But price is pushing. Let me see. We did hit TP1 actually. We did hit TP1, but I want to see if we can hit it again. Actually, let me double check to see if we hit it. Yeah, we hit TP1. Yeah, so we're making some money here. Good start to the week. We got a new 5-minute just started. So we're going to see if it can break this wall here, or if it's going to do a retrace. Well, it kind of did already the retest, so I would like to see it just break through these walls. But again, that's wishful thinking. We just have to watch and see what price is going to do, because we don't control the markets. But so far, price is pushing up nicely. We're about 400 pips away from TP2 on US30. SPX, you can see, is pushing up as well. NAS as well. Just decided to leave that alone personally, but we could have went for this as well. But again, I just wanted to go for one of the better ideal setups, which was US30 and GBPJPY 30. USDX is kind of going crazy right now. That thing really exploded 1,000 pips in like 10 minutes. Definitely going crazy. But it is all good. Don't got to jump into every pair. So we're about to hit TP2. So I want to catch this on stream. We're about 200 pips away from hitting TP2. Let's see if we can break that wall there. About 200 pips. Yeah, so it's definitely trying. I want to see if we can break it before the next 15-minute candlestick. That's what I'd like to see. Okay, remember, like I said, there's these walls right here. So keep an eye on your charts. But I want to see if we can break that level before the next 15. It's definitely trying. It's struggling though. So we're just going to let it do its thing for now. So GJ did drop back down. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. It is closing underneath here, which is a good sign. Definitely a good sign there. So we might still jump in on this depending on what the next 15 looks like. But that's definitely a good way to end the candlestick. Yeah. I like how that's doing that right there. I like how it's doing that right there. Yeah, so it definitely pushed back under. So we're going to wait for the next 15 because we just got literally 1 minute left. But I do like how it's doing what it's doing. US30, so close. Actually, let me mark it off. I'm going to start doing that. So we're going to turn this green. We're going to put 32, 34, 270. That's what we're about to do. Okay. Well, as soon as I did, it decides to hit it. All right, TP2 just got hit for US30. Let's go ahead and go on DAX/GBPJPY 30. See how we're doing there. So it's definitely not moving as smoothly as the trio is, but that is fine. Doesn't mean it's not going to do it or it's not going to break through it. Just gonna let it do its thing for now. But US30 is definitely pushing, as well as SPX if anyone jumped in on that. Again, all three of these, this is the trio here. Of course, there's some days where they don't move exactly the same. So you never just want to jump in a trade. You still want to do your analysis, mark off your levels, or whatever your strategy is. But as we can see right now, they are pumping and doing the same exact thing. Trade 30 is trying to follow suit. As we can see, just not a huge spike compared to the American indices and stocks, whatever you want to call them. But definitely looking good so far. I like how GJ's looking. GJ's actually dropping right now. So actually, let me go ahead and get ready to send this out. I just, of course, like to wait for the next candle. I'll wait for the candlestick to close before we jump in on anything, but it is already starting to make its move. Yeah, so I'm gonna type these TPs up and stuff. I do like how this is looking right here. So we're about to post that in there. I'm gonna put the TPs in there in a second. Give me 1 second, y'all. So new 15 just started. It's retesting, which is fine. I still see it heading towards that gap. It's retesting on a strong level here. You can see where that TP is. This is why it's a TP. You can see how price reacted to this level here. And you see how price literally is on top of that level, trying to treat it as a support and attempting to break it. Let's just look at these other pairs. So I'm going to type the TPs up for GJ, because after that, I do see price attempting to drop down some more. So we're going to jump in on that. I'm going to type the TPs up. TP3. Type this stuff up. We're at this level here. Now, I might not go zone to zone and hit all TPs. It could very much so retrace before New York. We see that happen a lot. But I want to see if we can catch some pips beforehand. Yeah, so it is dropping right now. We did just hit a TP. I'm typing them up right now, though. But I will notify y'all, but we did just hit a TP. I'm going to do this. Yeah, so we're going to do that right there. I'm going to do 166.15. There we go. All right, so TP just hit some TPs. First one's going to be yeah, so we're making some money right now. Making some money. So we're almost at the next TP. We're almost at TP2. We're like literally like 3 pips off from that. Okay, make that 1 pip off. Let's see if we can hit it before I switch screens, because I want to look at the other pairs. We'll pull it up on here. All right, we just hit TP2, y'all. All right, so we're 3 for 3 right now. 3 for 4 if you want to count SPX. All right, we're making some money now. Let's see. Yeah, so US30 doing a retest off this level. I still see it going to hunt for that gap, just like US30. See that push there. So I want to see what this next 5 minute does. But again, like I said, not every TP is guaranteed to get hit. So if you're happy with your profits, by any means close, not hold, because especially not sure if it's going to hit it. Don't just hold because, oh, there's another TP, whatever the case may be. Only hold if you at your own risk, basically. And if you do hold, make sure to not close or end the trade red, especially when we're blue and in profit. Yeah, so that thing is just tanking. That thing is just tanking. Yeah, so that thing just disrespected my TPs in a good way. So we just had another TP. Here I was talking about Monday was going to be a little bit slow, but we were able to catch some good opportunities here and there. Definitely good. So we just dropped like 30 pips in literally 5 minutes, which isn't bad. US30 is retracing some. So if y'all didn't get whipped out, what I always tell my members is, of course, the trade's still valid until SL gets hit. But we hit like TP2 in there. We almost hit, we were like 300 pips off from hitting TP3. Literally barely missed it. Jer30's retracing some as well. So we're just going to let that do its thing for now, but we definitely just make some quick money. This right here we see is retracing up a little bit, so do keep an eye on your charts. So let's see what other pairs we can potentially jump in on. So this is rejecting that level. So I wonder if AD New Zealand is dropping as well. So I'm about to look at that just out of curiosity. No, it's not doing the same thing. But this is dropping. And we got this wall right here. So we can stay underneath this wall. Might look for a sell setup here. So I'm going to be waiting for the next 15 to see how it reacts to that level. I want to see it hit here minimum. So we're just going to look at that for now. Yeah, but it looks like the GBP pairs are just dropping. So that's probably why it's helping us out with the GJ sell. Out of curiosity, I want to see what the other JPY pairs are doing. I want to see if they're dropping as well, or if that's just the GBP thing going down. So we don't really see that dropping. Yeah, so it might just be the GBP thing right now, which is fine. I just like to see what the correlating pairs are doing, because you never know. There might be some opportunities we can jump in on. Canadian pair, New Zealand CAD pushing up. Gonna leave that alone. THF gonna leave that alone. Okay, but yeah, so indices are retracing right now. GJ is dropping still. My bad, I'm typing right now. All right. So we're kind of in the middle of the zone. Well, we're a quarter way in the zone, I should say. We're not really in the middle of the zone. Now we're considering if we're just trading strictly to the 4-hour level, technically in the middle of the zone. But like always, like we just saw these, hit a couple TPs and retrace. It's going right back to our entry. This does happen. That's why I always let y'all know TP does stand for take profit. Now, it could very much, it's still going to have to fill this gap up. It's still going to have to fill this gap up. Will it do it before New York or during New York? That's, we just have to wait and see. I was trying to see if it was going to head towards it. It did definitely try to. And trade's still valid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the second candlestick. It's just the second 15-minute candlestick. We've been in this trade not even 30 minutes yet. So do keep that in mind. But GJ is working for us as of now. I want to see if there's any other pairs we can possibly jump in on. Euro USD just broke this level. Yeah, so I'm going to wait to see what the next 15 looks like for this. Because Euro USD has been playing games the last few times I've tried to trade it. So we're going to wait for the next 15 or the next 5, but that thing's pumping. So we're definitely going to wait for a retracement, but it did just break this level, which is a good sign. But not going to jump in on that yet. It's just a trade idea. Just a trade idea. But the Euro pairs are pumping. We can see that for sure. Euro pairs are pumping. GBP pairs are dumping. I wonder if all the GBP pairs are dumping. Let's see what GU's up to. Let's see what that's currently at. So the USD pairs are trying to push back up. GBP New Zealand chilling right there. Yeah, so we got about 5 minutes. New 5-minute did just start. So let's see what happens with this new 5-minute. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna take a look at this. Yeah, so it hit that wall, and it's about to retest on top of this wall. So we're gonna see if it can, one, break back through this wall, treat it as support level, then continue to push up to fill this gap up. So that's when we'll wait and see if price can do so. Because it currently broke this wall, which is a good sign. We see how price broke this wall, retested, then broke through it, treat it as support, then broke through this. So we'll see if we can treat this as a support level, this line right here, then break through here, and then continue to stack up. That's really what the higher highs and higher lows are, and the lower highs and lower lows are. It's literally stacking on certain levels of price. You just got to know what levels. And if you know what levels, then you can know where to enter and exit off of. And that's how you catch pips and make money. Very simple. As you can see, price is chilling right here. So when we see price chilling here, not really moving, it's obviously going to do one or two things. It's either going to, next candlestick, retrace back up or retrace down like the indices did, or it's going to attempt to rip through the next candlestick. So again, keep an eye on your charts. It did retrace up like 6 pips from where it was. So like always, do not let your screen turn red. Keep an eye on your charts. We're going to see what the next 15 looks like. Pretty good start to the day, though. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Let me see here. I want to see if there's any other setups. GN's retracing back above that level. Huge rejection right there. But we're going to see what the next 15 decides to do. I'm going to go from there. 80 USDs right back on this daily level. We'll see if it can push back up. It is pushing back up. Perfect. Perfect. So there's a lot of potential setups here. They just break above this level here. So the USD pairs continue to pump up. Could look for a buy setup here as well. Just gonna put it underneath this body of price right there. And see what goes up to. Yeah, gold's a pump. Indices aren't really doing much. We see it reacting off this level here, rejecting up a little bit. I wanted to see gold come a little bit lower. It didn't really come where I wanted to see it come. Literally missed about like 100, maybe 200 pips. But that is fine. We did take a buy off this level. So we want to see how price reacts to that. But let's go on silver real quick and see if silver is at a good position for us. Let's take a look here. 15. Let's see. No, not yes. Yeah, we're just going to leave that alone. Go back to that during New York, possibly. All right. So it has retraced now 10 pips. We got 2 minutes to the next 15. Keep that in mind. And look what happened last time price was this low. Came back up. So do not be shocked if price does that again. Okay, always you look to the left. Price is always going to give you hints. All right, it's going to tell you what's going to potentially happen in the future, and it's going to explain what's happening in the present. The price is retracing and is about to close right above that level, so we could potentially see a repeat of what happened last time price hit this level, which is why I marked it off. Now, indices wide, price is pushing back up. This is why I say don't panic. But again, this doesn't always happen. There's always been instances where price, like we just go down memory lane, for example. What's a pair that only hit a couple TPs? I think it was this one right here. Let me see. So we took this trade, right? Either one of these trades. No, not that one. It was this one and this one. They hit a couple TPs. Then what happened? They hit a certain level of price, hit a wall. Like just for example's sake, let's just mark off this level here. Actually, let's do mark off right here. And let me zoom in. So we see price tapped and hit this level here. What do we see here? We see this is a resistance level here. We see when price is push back up. Then we also see, we just go down the line, how price is reacting time and time again to the same level. So it's not a surprise that price reacted or rejected the way it did. But the main point of me showing you that is it hit a couple TPs and then retrace back up. And then what happened? Hit stop loss, right? This one hit all TPs, then goes on the zone, came back up, hit stop loss. Hit a couple TPs, retrace loss. Done happened before? Yeah, it's happened plenty of times. But it is Monday, like I was saying before, and it is before New York session. So trading these pairs in general before New York session, especially on a Monday, there is a slight risk to it. That's why you want to wait for confirmations and patiently wait for price to show you that it is trying to go the direction you assume it's going to go or want it to go. So new 15 did just start. GJ is red and it is back underneath there, so it could potentially try to break through. But we're going to have to see how this first goes. But so far it is trying to dump down, which is a good sign. So let's go look at GBP New Zealand and see what it's trying to do. Okay, retested the daily level. Still not going to enter until it breaks underneath this wall here, because we see last time price was underneath here, hit that level and then rejected up. Getting away from because price broke under your level or hit your level of price doesn't mean it's going to do the move you want. But it does look like it's trying to. It does look like it's trying to. So I might write this up just in case, because I do like how this is looking. Let's see here. Yeah, I could definitely see at least coming to here maybe. So we can catch a decent knob here. I don't know if it's going to do the full move. But scalp setup wise, if we can break that level, we can at least come to here potentially. So I want to keep an eye on that. GJ is attempting to continue to drop down, but GJ hasn't been this low. Let's see the last time GJ has been this low. Okay, so it was this low last week. Did a huge drop though. It's struggling to break that level. And when we go into 4 hour, we can kind of see why. Looking at the 4 hour, let's just bold this line up. This is the line price is currently at, right? And we can clearly see how this is getting treated as support level here, support level here, support level here. We got these nice walls right here. Then also underneath here, we can see how it's rejecting, treating as resistance. So it makes sense why price rejected when price hit here. Because again, price is always going to repeat itself. We see this is the 4 hour time frame, literally like 10 different candles, if not more, reacting the same way to the same level of price, which isn't a coincidence. But let's see, we're looking at this as well. Let's see what this is up to. Okay, this is dropping as well. So we're going to scratch this for now. And let's see, we got this wall right here. So we can see how price reacts to this wall here. And we're just going to let price do its thing. It's respecting this daily zone though. So we could still look for potentially a buy setup. But we're not going to just jump into buy again. We're going to wait for confirmations for price to show us that it's trying to go up or trying to go down before we enter. And we see GJ looking like potentially a repeat of this right here. Is turning green and it's right on top of this line again. So it is tapping this body of price right here. So we can stay underneath this body of price, which it currently is, then it could potentially continue to drop down. But again, you see it struggling. It's only going to struggle so long. It's only going to struggle at a price for so long before it rejects or breaks through it. But we can see right here, it touched this body of price and it's rejecting it. So if we can stay underneath that body of price, we can see price drop down. Let's go back to GN. GN is turning red. I do like how GN is looking. So if we do decide to enter this, this will be about a 45, 50 pip stop loss, which isn't too bad. Still going to wait. New 5-minute did just start. Still going to wait though, because it's not underneath that level. But we see GJ doing the same thing, but it's still respecting that wall for now. Then the indices still respecting the entry level. So it can potentially come back up later. US30 looking a little bit different from that. Yeah, these are the only pairs really going to be looking at for now. I'm going to scan through the other pairs again. Of course, going into New York. But everything else is either in the middle of a move already, middle of the zone, or just ideally not where I want to enter at. So I'm just going to leave them alone for now. GU is continuing to push up. I'm going to let that push up some more. GJ is trying to drop down, which is fine. Let me see what the other JPY pairs are up to. So EJ, I would like to see it come a little bit higher for entry. If it can. If not, I'm just going to leave it alone. Same thing with these. But it looks like the JPY pairs are dropping now. They're all dropping on Q now, which is definitely a good sign. I'm going to wait for the other pairs to go to their ideal entries that I want to enter at before I even mess with them. But yeah, I'm going to acknowledge that. So GBPCHF hit that hit the daily level, and it's retracing back up. So that is a good sign there. So we might still be able to look for a buy setup off this for now. Yeah, GJ is struggling to break that level. So we're going to see if it can in the next 5 minutes. See what gold's up to. Gold's still pumping. See what oil's up to. So oil's built a nice wall here. So I might just leave this alone because I don't even want to enter off this level. So I might leave oil alone today, unless it retraces back up to around the daily zone. I might just leave it alone today, or if it breaks underneath this level. Yeah, most likely going to do that. So we got about 2.5 minutes to the next 5 minutes. I want to see if that's going to help GJ push down or not. New Zealand's doing that still. GBCHF. Let's do 80. New Zealand's up to tempting to drop down. Yeah, so it's kind of stuck right now. This is definitely still respecting the daily level, which is a good sign. See up to, yeah, these are reattempting to push up right before the new 5 minute. Cool. Euro pairs are retracing down. I think it's definitely struggling. New 5 minute did just start. Yep, the thing pushing back up. Yeah, not surprised there. Yeah, so this is back underneath that wall, struggling to break through it, which makes sense. Again, main reason why it's struggling to break these levels is one, besides it being Monday, it's not a New York session yet. So it being Monday and not being a lot of volume in the markets yet, mainly because, technically for everything else and everyone else, US30 NAS, SPX, all that good stuff, isn't even really open yet. It doesn't really open until New York session. That's why it's, breaking some levels, then retracing back down, breaking some levels, retracing back down, instead of, you seeing these huge pumps like you see sometimes, strictly because of the volume and the time of the morning we're trading. But just like I was saying before, I was giving you all a heads up. When price is struggling at a lower price to break it or even go anywhere, there's a high likely chance that it's going to shoot back up or it's going to rip down. In this case, it's shot back up. Still technically are blue, but definitely not as much profit as we were before. But again, that doesn't mean it's not going to be able to continue to push down and hit the other TPs later on. GN is definitely respecting this daily level. So I am curious to see what this next 15 looks like. So I'm going to see what this next 15 looks like. See if we're going to enter anything else. But if not, we're probably just going to be chilling, holding these trades, or just chilling on these trades until closer to New York, where everything else can come to more ideal entries. Let me see what the other JPY pairs are pushing up as well. So I want to see what the next 15 looks like. I want to see if it's going to push back up to our entry or if it's going to drop down, because kind of at this wick right here on this 5 minute, kind of at this wall of price right here. So we're going to see. Definitely not a bad start to the day, though. Definitely not a bad start. Just the hour in, we caught a good amount of pips off currency pairs and indices. So we're definitely going to tally those up and see how much we caught in like 30 minutes. But GN is still attempting to try to break this level. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. We got about a minute and a half. Then we're going to go from there. Indices are still reattempting to try to break back up. We're going to see if it can do so. Yeah, this is like trying to drop back down. Let's see what gold's up to. Yeah, gold hit that level. It's retracing down. So we got 30 seconds. I just want to see what this next 15 looks like. But realistically, this just came back either at y'all's entries or went past entries. So I hope y'all still aren't holding. But it is red. It's dropping back down. But my thing is, if it's blue and you watch it all go back from, you up a few hundred pips or a couple, 20, 30 pips, depending on what you're trading, it's just kind of crazy and it's a little bit more risky to let all this do or super comp going to go up. Because again, you could possibly re-enter. There's a lot of trades that I re-enter all the time after retracement. But since that's dumping back down, let's see what this is up to. Those are still retracing some. GN looks like it's about to try to drop down. So for where currently price is at, not too bad of a stop loss. So I might write this up. It's got this wall here struggling to break. That is a good sign. I want to see it break underneath that wall before I jump in on that. Let's see what GBPJPY's up to. Yeah, that didn't really go nowhere. Retest that lower, rejected. What else were we looking at? We're looking at AD New Zealand. So I think it's chilling there. So we're just going to leave that alone. GBP New Zealand looks like it's attempting to drop down. So I'm going to see how it looks when it closes, because right underneath here there is another wall that we see, price rejected off of this wall price right here. So I want to see how the next 5 to 10 minutes look like with it underneath the zone, or in fact, if it can stay underneath that zone. But it looks like the GP pairs are dropping. Let me see if the other GP pairs are doing the same. GPAD looks just like, got a very similar formation to GN. If we look at the previous 3 candlesticks and then go to GN, looks exactly the same, which is interesting. AD New Zealand, not looking the same there. Let's see what Euro New Zealand is looking like GN. So Euro New Zealand is trying to drop just like GN. Yeah, so everything else I don't really like where it's at. So I'm just going to be looking at GN, of course, keeping an eye on the indices. But other than that, just going to be chilling with the trades we're in. If I like what I see. But other than that, probably going to be chilling until closer to New York before I enter anything else. Y'all made some money today. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to click that first link to join the free Telegram. That way you're notified when TPs get hit, and also notified when I do enter any other trades. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Mainly TikTok. I'm trying to do some streams on TikTok. But I think as well as YouTube, so make sure to hit the YouTube. We don't just live stream. We got a lot of trade breakdowns on the channel. More coming down this week. Also some trading tip videos, trading psychology videos, all that good stuff. Make sure to watch and check those out. Got some more that I have to edit and dropping this week as well. Be on the lookout for that. But a not bad start to a decent amount of pips for just an hour. Can't complain there. So I'm going to see y'all tomorrow in the London session stream tomorrow. Members, you already know, in a couple hours, I'm going to give y'all the price watch list for New York session, possible setups and all that good stuff. And yeah, we out.